The hit podcast, A Slight Change of Plans, looks at how life-changing events affect who we are. It blends storytelling with the science of human behavior. It has featured candid conversation with big names like Hillary Clinton, author Adam Grant, Amanda Knox, and Theranos whistleblower Erica Chung. Apple named the podcast Best Show of the Year in 2021. It's been downloaded more than 8 million, yep, that's right, 8 million times since its launch.
Go Maya.
The premiere of its 5th season is this week. Cognitive scientist Maya Shankar is the host and creator of the podcast. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
to see you.
It's so lovely
I would say
to
you're
be here.
doing good. Yeah. You're doing good.
So, the one human behavior you delve into is people's fear of change.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, so we have an allergy as humans towards uncertainty. So there's a study showing that people who were told they had a 50% chance of getting an electric shock were significantly more stressed out than those who were told they had a 50% chance, 100% chance of getting an electric shock. And so we would rather be certain that a terrible thing is going to happen than to have to deal or manage with any feelings of ambiguity or uncertainty.
That makes sense.
Why?
Because you know it's coming if somebody says 100%.
But Nate and Maya, we are the most adaptable animals on the whole planet. Like, we are the most adaptable animals on the whole planet. So we're good at change, actually. So why are we so afraid of it?
No, it's a great point. We are really good at change in some ways, but then also change can threaten our sense of identity sometimes, and that can be very destabilizing. So one woman I talked to on the show, her name is Christy Warren. She is a listener of A Slight Change of Plans, and she was telling me about her career as a paramedic and a firefighter. And after decades of serving others, she realized that she had to actually save herself because she was diagnosed with debilitating PTSD. And in that moment, she had to try to figure out, how do I redefine myself now that I can no longer wear this hero cape and help others every single day? Do I still have value in this world? And so our conversation is about that.
One of my favorite, you kick off the season with Ruby Bridges. Oh, I so love Ruby Bridges. And talk about slight change of plans. She's a little black girl, 6 years old, who integrates in Louisiana for the first time to school. But when she goes, she doesn't even know what is happening to her.
Yeah.
You know, she's just told you're going to a new school, so she's very excited about that. And these white men, 2 marshals, come and say, we're going to escort you to school. She goes, okay, that's kind of cool.
Right.
But she doesn't really realize what is happening because she was not told.
Yes, Gayle, I was astounded
Me too.
to have this conversation with her because, like so many people watching this, I read about Ruby Bridges in my history books, right? But it wasn't until our conversation on A Slight Change of Plans that I fully internalized what this experience was like through the lens of a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, as it turns out, no one told Ruby what was happening or why. She was not told that there were desegregation efforts happening across her city. She was not told why federal marshals showed up at her doorstep to escort her to school for her safety. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
Being
She just
6
said
years old.
She felt very special. And it was only when she was 17 that a reporter asked her that she realized, oh, that was a groundbreaking, game-changing event.
Yeah.
Daniel Pink talking about regret.
Yes.
How we should all use regret as a force for good, that we don't come to terms with regret. I thought this was an interesting conversation, too.
Yeah, so regret is one of those icky, stomach-turning, negative feelings that we all try to run away from as much as possible. I certainly do. But Dan teaches us that if we can meaningfully engage with our regrets, and he teaches us how exactly to do that. There's good ways and bad ways to engage with regret. It can actually lead us to live more productive, happy lives. And I actually saw this. I love it when the science is corroborated by the stories of the guests.
I'll bet you do, scientists. Yeah.
And so I talked with Jason Isbell, who's a singer-songwriter, and Jason regretted so much of his past when he was an alcoholic. And when he became sober, he did what so many of us might do in that situation, which is he tried to villainize his past self as a way of avoiding a relapse. He tried to create as much psychological space between present-day Jason and past Jason.
A lot of people do that.
Absolutely. And what he learned over time was that he could actually learn from his regrets and he could embrace old Jason in this compassionate way while still staying sober and present.
It's okay to create a bridge with who you used to be.
Yes.
Exactly. Well said.
The only certainty is uncertainty, right?
Yes.
Humans make plans, God laughs. So what can people do in their everyday life to manage what is going to be a different kind of day?
Good question, Tony. I got my pen and paper ready.
Great question, Tony. Okay, I'll give you 2 quick tips, okay? The first is that we can invite awe-inspiring experiences into our lives.
Okay.
This can be as simple as noticing a beautiful sunset or looking at a flower. I'm not talking about going to the Grand Canyon
10 seconds, Maya. Second one.
And then the second thing we can do is invite daily, reliable rituals into our lives, like a hot cup of tea in the morning.
Or
I like
watching
that.
CBS Mornings.
Or watching CBS Mornings.
Maya Shankar,
You're
thank you so
reliable
much. You can
every
listen
day.
to Slight Change of Plans wherever you like your podcast.